Act's looking to get tough on immigration. Leader David Seymour says people are welcome to New Zealand if they contribute, respect our democratic values and help build the country. The party will be campaigning on a 6-point plan going into this year's election. On the list, a dedicated overstay enforcement unit to deal with nearly 21,000 known overstayers. People with residency visas won't be eligible for job seeker support, accommodation supplements or income-tested benefits for 5 years. Employers will have to prove there's a demand for skilled migrant workers every year. Those with temporary work visas will pay $6 a day towards New Zealand's infrastructure needs. Act would also raise English language requirements and toughen up rules for deporting serious offenders. The Green Party is calling the policy divisive, comparing it to Donald Trump's ICE immigration crackdown in the US. Simon Mersett has more.
Act says immigration needs fixing. It says rather than bringing in skilled migrants, the country's only recruiting general labour. It says infrastructure can't keep up. It wants to tighten rules so migration isn't, in its words, a path to welfare. And it wants to do more about overstayers. What do you say to New Zealanders who might hear about this dedicated enforcement unit and feel it sounds something like we see in America with an ICE unit running around the streets?
You know, crazy times in America. We don't have to follow everything they do, nor should we tolerate 20,000 overstayers. We don't have to choose between being like America or just not following the law.
The Greens say the policy is copying America.
This party wants to establish effectively an ICE unit that we've seen has harmed and destroyed families in the United States. I don't think New Zealanders will want a government trying to emulate the Trump playbook that has destroyed families and hasn't improved the cost of living crisis.
We already have a big team of people in the government who do exactly this job.
Are they doing it well enough?
Well, perhaps yes, perhaps no, but David Seymour hasn't made the case. He hasn't provided any evidence.
As for the 5-year welfare stand down, the ACT leader says that's a Kiwi policy.
Most people in most of our history came to this country with no expectation of any kind of welfare, and I think that is the way it should always be.
Labor says the policy's unduly harsh on those with residence visas.
They're working in an important job that we need them to do. Perhaps they get made redundant through no fault of their own. What are they supposed to do? Go along and beg for food somewhere to survive?
Wanting to portray migrants as people who are coming to the country just to seek welfare support is the dirtiest, lowest dominator of scapegoating our communities.
David Seymour says the policy meets genuine concerns, which he blames on the previous government.
Allowing hundreds of thousands of people they'd let in to have residency and eventually citizenship with no questions asked. That is the root of many people's dissatisfaction.
He says more immigration policy is to come.
Simon is with us. And Simon, what have ACT's coalition partners had to say about this plan?
We went to New Zealand first. You'll recall it's drawn strong criticism from its own coalition partner, National, for Shane Jones' recent comment, the butter chicken comment regarding immigration from India. Today, we were told Winston Peters was unavailable for comment. We did hear from National a short time ago from Immigration Minister Erica Stanford. She agrees with ACT that the government has inherited what she calls an immigration system out of control, but she does take issue with the $6 a day infrastructure surcharge, which she says is a levy that would be borne by employers, and argues it would flow on to higher costs, higher prices for Kiwis. So she describes this as an unusual policy from ACT.
And the opposition also has big questions about that infrastructure charge.
They do indeed. Labor says it's a case of shooting yourself in the foot. It says New Zealand's competing for skilled migrants with the likes of Australia and Canada, and this policy just taxes those migrants. It makes New Zealand a less attractive proposition for them. The Greens say the policy invites people to blame a migrant neighbour for not having, say, adequate public transport or healthcare, when the Greens say those earning the most should be paying more tax. As for David Seymour's position on this infrastructure surcharge, he says, yes, it will deter some people coming here. It may be that employers end up paying for it, but he says it's better than, to quote his words, it's better than socialising the costs on everyone else.
Ngā mihi nui. Thanks so much, Simon.